good evening, Dharma brothers and sisters. Yeah, but very nice to meet you tonight, and I must say a thanks to Venerable Miaomu for her invitation, for asking me to come forward to share with you this book. And as we know, this is actually a routine. Everyone will take their turns to come and share on this book. And my duty today is on chapter 6, and which is the summary of holding true to the original intents of the Buddha. So like what we say is, from chapter 1 to chapter 5, I'm sure you have heard a lot of what Humanistic Buddhism is all about. And now I'm going to do a summary. Just imagine, I was working on it and I say, hey, how should I cover this summary? Then, I can talk more on how Venerable, integrates, Buddhism, traditional Buddhism into modernity Buddhism, how he propagates, Dharma in a way that that is efficient to other people and it benefits other people. So this, how it works on. So I was thinking maybe I work on the blueprint of Venerable Masters, how you work on for this Humanistic Buddhism. Allow me to sit down so I can read my notes. In my talk today, actually, I put into 3 parts. The first part, I would like to go on after the Buddha entered Palinimana, what was the basic development of Buddhism? And the second part of it, I will talk more on how Venerable Master Hsing connect Humanistic Buddhism with the intent of the Buddha. And then, of course, the last part, I will show how Venerable Masters, how he integrates, the traditions and the modernity in a unique way. So these are the 3 parts that I would want to share on tonight on my talk. And Venerable Master's his visions was to make Buddhism throw a light on the future of Chinese Buddhism. That is his intention, and he really works on this, and he integrates all this. How you do the modern technology. Let's say we have long distance learning through internet, and then we have TV center, we have the so-called newspaper, the maritime newspaper. He wanted to integrate all these modern facilities to propagate Buddhism, and also a way to make a Chinese Buddhism so-called prosperous and more common to most people. Yeah, okay. So first of all, I would want to ask, how much do we know about Humanistic Buddhism? Someone might ask, is this a new religion? Or someone might ask, what is Humanistic Buddhism about? What kind of sutra is based on? And where, people who practice Humanistic Buddhism, where will be reborn in? Such a questions, all kinds of things. Yeah. So actually, when we say 人间, or we say Humanistic Buddhism, is actually a term. So when we say about 人间, in Chinese terms is world, right? It's in a human, it's a world. And then human, yeah, 人, I must use 人 first, okay? 人 meaning human, right? So 间 is actually a world, and or probably is a space. And so when these 2 Chinese words being combined together, 人间 is actually mean human world or human society. Okay, so we are going to come into the first part of the talk tonight. So the basic development of Buddhism. When Buddha entered Palinimana, there are 2 major schools of Buddhism, the Theravada and the Mahayana. Of course, there are other schools also, but these 2 schools are the most major so-called core teaching of the Buddha. And in fact, all these teachers, all these different schools, they actually have the core teaching or the core nature of the Buddha's Dharma. What is their focus, or what is the core of these different traditions? Take for example the Theravada Buddhism. It's actually the doctrine of the elders. So the earliest available teaching was actually found in the Pali literature. Let's say, I know there are so-called students, let's say in Malaysia, or even I went to KL, they were saying, actually, Sifu, a lot of English speakers will go to the Theravada traditions. I say, yeah, it's acceptable because they talk, they speak in English, and then they use Pali, so-called not language, but Pali words. And it's so much closer to the Buddha's teaching. And then they say, yeah, this is the origin of what the Buddha is teaching. So everyone wants to go to, Theravada. This is one of the reasons. But when we, regardless of what schools, they admit that human characteristics of the Buddha is he is characterized, all right? And he understands the human nature, and he emphasized on meditative approach. Theravada emphasized a lot on meditations. And they focus very little on the rituals, more on meditations. Because it says, only when your mind is calm, then you are able to help others. Only when your mind is calm, then you are able to see truth, the true self, or look inside. So this is the doctrine, or probably the teaching of the Theravada traditions. And now we're going to look at the Mahayana tradition. We call these traditions the great vehicle. What do you mean by great vehicle? We used to say Hinayana and Mahayana, but now Hinayana is hardly used because it's not fair or not polite, to the Theravada traditions. So we use Theravada traditions and Mahayana traditions. Then, in Mahayana we call it the vehicles because it covers a wider range of what the Buddha has teach. Let's say, in the Chinese collections of the Chinese doctrines, we have 3 categories and 12 divisions. And there are lots of collections of what on the Buddha's teaching. But if on the Pali literature, it basically just on the Pali Tripitaka. That's all. That's the only so-called doctrines they rely on. Then when you look at Mahayana traditions, it's an umbrella body of the great variety of schools. And we know in Mahayana we have 8 schools. And out of the 3, they are more on mind. Let's say Chan school, the Yogacara school, and one more is Chan. One is Huayan school. So it's more on the mind. And then when we look at all this, they actually want to teach us to look inside. When we want to attain enlightenment or to search for enlightenment, it's not to look outside, but you have to look inwards. And so when we look at these 2 schools, regardless of whether Theravada schools or the Mahayana school, it's actually the same. It's still under the core teaching of the Buddha that you have to meditate and look inside. So, which is also the human mind is ultimate, and we have the Buddha nature. Both the Theravada and the Mahayana speaks the same or teach the same thing. And then other schools that comes in, the esoteric Buddhism, they practice more on the mudra, mandra, or even mandala. But the initiations can only done by the teacher or the gurus. They have to have a master that has the lineage, then they are able to so-called pass down the teachings to you. But this esoteric teaching is more on the very metrical things. If you meditate, sorry, I have no criticism, but this is just a sharing. If you look on certain things, okay, a blue color, what does this blue means? Then what level you have, reached? And then if you want to look inside, you have to practice tantric. And then tantric practice is you need to have another sex to stand in front of you, and then what kind of like feelings or whatever that you have, and then this is how you practice, and then you are able to gain enlightenment in the sense that you know what the inner so-called the Buddha nature is about. So our practice or the way I look at things, I think we still has to go steps by steps, originally from what the Buddha has taught us. there's no so-called shortcut to enlightenment by just practicing on meditations or practicing on, mandara, and you can get enlightened. I mean, this is what I don't fully agree. But of course, to study the histories of Buddhism is actually quite a long. I will not talk more on the histories, but today I will just focus more on Venerable Master's blueprint for Humanistic Buddhism. Venerable Master says, the Buddha spends 45 years preaching the universal truth. And then he used all kinds of methods to analyze the meaning and the reality of life. And then what the Buddha hoped is his teaching can satisfy the modern exponents of the so-called psychologists. So if, let's say, yesterday I attended a class and then the students asked me, he said, Shifu, I went to one of the monastery and then there's 2 monks. These 2 monks are very friendly. They are very good friends. But then during the class, when they are devotees, B monk is very stern. He don't talk, but he just meditate. He just sit there. And A monks will do all the lectures. But when the class ends, this B monk and A monk will start to talk. And he asked me, Shifu, what do you think about, the practitioner react in such a way? I say, I have no comments. Individuals practice how they focus on is them. But to me, I feel a bit weird. To spread Buddhism, you actually need to, walk into the society or probably walk into the groups to spread your teaching. But if you think that you want to show that you are a great practitioner, you just sit there, and then people, oh yeah, how you Hsing, I think he is enlightened and things like that. Then he said one day really shocked him was when this B monk wanted to do meditation outdoor. And it was very warm outside and the sun was actually quite shining. So this devotees, being so kind, shadowed him with an umbrella. And then this monk said, stay 3 feet away from me. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So I says now, it's so nice of you sharing, this story, this so-called things that you see with me. I say now, Venerable Master says, what do you mean by humanistic Buddhism? You have to approach others, or you are being, when devotees or even your students, when they look at you, they think that, yeah, you are someone that I can share my problem with, then I can talk to. But if I'm going to stand 3 feet away from you, how do I respond to you? Or how do I talk to you? And that is not the way that we keep a distance from, so-called the audience or, the sentient beings. So I said, this is not what Venerable Master says. Venerable Master says, we have to go into, we have to walk into the society. We have to approach human beings. We have to teach them in a way, a very skillful way that they are acceptable. So Venerable Master also eradicates that Buddha was born in this world and he practiced meditation in this world and he became enlightened in this world. And thus, the Buddha in the world, he's a savior in the world. He didn't speak to so-called the devas. He spoke to humans and he practiced and cultivated in this human world. And he also lectured, in this world, and he get enlightened in this world. He didn't speak to so-called the devas. He didn't speak, to so-called the animals. And this is how the Buddha taught dharmas to people. So Venerable Master is the same thing. He hoped that Buddhism can be useful, and he aims at the teaching of the Buddha is to improve the lives and to purify our mind. That's his main intention. But by doing so, we cannot just go by papers or lecture, you just sit there and I tell you, say, hey, now you read this message or you probably recite this sutra or you participate in this ritual and your mind is purified. is perfect, you are enlightened. But Venerable Master says no, that's not the way. We have to have different kinds of skills. Let's say, okay, I'm weak in mathematics. Then if you taught me about maths, formats, I would just doze off. I might not come to the class one day. Then if I'm very good in computers, but now you are teaching me Chinese, which is not the subject that I liked, then I might just not attend the class anymore. So Venerable Master says we have to fit into every individual. And therefore we need to work out something. So Venerable Master, he works on. He says the spirits to teach humanistic Buddhism is life, with humility, life, altruism, and delight. And he says, with the temples and monasteries alone, we cannot revive Buddhism or to purify minds or to transform a personal tendencies. There's no way. But educations can. Then when in 1963, when Venerable Master starts to travel, in Asia, in Southeast Asia, he actually went to Malaysia, and then he went to India. He even went to Japan and Korea. And after all this visit, his tour, he came back to Taiwan, and he realized that Malaysia does a very good thing is they set up a Buddhist college, and they have educated a lot of talent. So if you want to propagate Dharma, Buddhism has to spread on. We need talent. That means we need religious teachers. And how we train these teachers is only through education. And this is point one. And second thing, when he travels around, he realized that when I visited temples in Japan, they pay more respects to the eminent monk than to Buddha. And he thinks that this is not right. Because Buddha is our teacher. But why we pay the first respect to only the eminent monk? And because he is the person who teach, let's say, meditations on Chan school. He's the first patriarch, the Chan set and so on. And so Venerable Master came back here again. He think about it. And then one day he also participated in an event, if I'm not wrong, in Thailand. And there was a lot of participants that comes in, and then they pay full respect, and they are so well behaved. And then Venerable Master says, Buddhism is only one, but why there are so many different way of the behavior, how these people comes in, and what makes the change? What is behind this thing that makes the difference? So when he came back to Taiwan and he starts to work on it, he said, first thing, I want to set up a Buddhist college. We need to train talent. So how we go about it? So he, based on this four so-called motto for the Sangha education, and that is compassion, wisdom, vow, and practice. And how he integrates these four into the Buddha's teaching. Take for example, compassion. Buddha's compassion, he shows loving kindness and then listens to the suffering. When we talk about the Buddha's compassion, there are many, many stories. There was one when one of his disciples, he practiced so diligently that he lost his sight. And then one day he was sewing his clothes, and he couldn't do it very well. So one of his attendants told the Buddha, he says, this disciple was sick, and then he couldn't do, his so-called, he cannot sew, and then he probably cannot, take his food and so on. Then the Buddha tells his attendants, can you bring me to him? I would like to visit him. And when the Buddha see these disciples, he of course give his teaching and counsel him. And then the Buddha do the teaching for him. I am a teacher, I'm an enlightened being, but I do this thing. No, what is this action trying to tell us? What is the intent of this, the Buddha nature? Compassion. And the second thing is wisdom. To use wisdom to help them to find the path to cease suffering. We know Buddha has disciples who we know that he's a bit slow learner. He's not silly or stupid, we call it, but he's a bit slow learner. Whatever he listened, he forgot the next minute. So I forgot his full name. I knew it's Pintaka. It's Kuna Pintaka or Kata Pintaka. So Pintaka was very upset, and he told Buddha, says, my brother wants me to leave, the Sangha order. And Buddha says, why? Because my brother says I'm very stupid, I can't even remember very simple teaching of the Buddha. So I'm not qualified to be, in this Sangha order. So he wants me to quit. Then the Buddha says, no, by all means you remain. I will teach you one method. And you just practice, just on one method. Sweep and clean, sweep and clean. You just sweep and clean, sweep and clean. So what Pintaka do was, and he really followed what the Buddha taught him. So one day he sweep and clean, he gets enlightened. In enlightened says, if I don't sweep my inner nature, then my inner nature is confused. It's not pure. And when this nature is not pure, then nothing, no pure teaching of the Buddhas can ever enter, into my mind. Then how can I practice to get enlightened? So this is a simple way that the Buddha gives his teaching with wisdoms. Sometimes when we are dealing with our children or even with our colleagues or even, with our committee members, when someone didn't do according to what we ordered, or we instruct them to do something, then we say, hey, how many times I want to teach you? How many times you want me to repeat the things to, so that you can do it right? This is how we react. But as a wise so-called leader or wise teacher or even a parent, you should understand your child, your colleagues, rather than you condemning them. We shouldn't condemn. We should give them more encouragement and with more understanding. Then we can actually help them to develop. So this is what the Buddha's, wisdoms. And the third thing is vow. To vow to overcome all obstacles in liberating beings. So when we think back, I think it's King Prashanajit. He was actually locked up by his son because he wants to take over his throne. And then King Prashanajit was very upset. And one day when the queen comes in, and both of them was talking, and he says, we are being so devoted to the Buddha. We have been so helpful to the Sangha order. But why? But why are we, are suffering in such a stage now? Shall we go and ask the Buddha for help? So King Prashanajit and both the queen, they prayed and they called for help. And Buddha, because he has the supernatural power, and he heard, okay, he says now they need the help. So he manifests himself, in the voidness, and he spoke to King Prashanajit on the Pure Land. And this is why Amitabha Sutra comes out, and also another sutras on the Pure Land. So after listening, King Prashanajit was, he was quite joyful, and then he let go of all the hatreds and all the worries, all the fears that he has. He really let go. And he practiced according to what the Buddha teach him. Just calm your mind, you just recite Amitabha Buddha's name, and then just follow steps by steps, and it goes. And he has been liberated. He has no more fear, even though he passed away, in so-called the prisons or the jail. But he passed off very peacefully. Okay. And then in practice, to practice according to the Buddha's teaching, of course, basically we say the Noble Eightfold Path. But there are a lot of teachings that we can actually follow the Buddha's teaching, like, Four Noble Truths, cause and effect, causes and conditions. All these are the teachings that the Buddha wants us, that if you understand this, it's just a theory to you, but you have to practice it. What do we know about impermanence? I always tell the students, I say, when we talk about impermanence, then you say, I don't sense any impermanence. 无常是什么? I don't see it. I say exactly. Can you see what the electricity is? Can you see what happiness is? Can you find what love is? All these are intangible. But intangible things are more useful and important and more meaningful than something that is tangible. So I told him, I said, a lot of things that you can actually, if you can practice the Four Noble Truths, the three Dharma seals, in your daily life, I bound you can get enlightened. You don't have to go through so much of a practice, but you just based on this, you just concentrate on this basic teaching of the Buddha. Alright. So Venerable Masters integrated these four mottos, compassion, wisdom, vows, and practice, together with the fourth immeasurable mind, and together with the forgiving. So we say the forgiving is actually the motto of the Bila association or the Bila members. How he integrates by giving others confidence. How do you give confidence? Let's say just now the bee monk, the way he reacts to his students or even to devotees. Do you think this devotees has confidence to practice Buddhism? I don't think so. He'll say, hey, I think Buddhism is quite difficult. It's not easy to practice. By just sitting and then no talking, and then you have to be so stunk, in your teaching, I don't think I can take it. So he will just lose his confidence. And then when he says want to give confidence to others, is to assure him it's not too difficult. How? Sifu always says, when he is hungry, give him some rice. If he needs a drink, provide him a cup of drinks. It's just that simple. When someone comes into Fogongshan temple, he's very tired. Provide him a seat and ask him to come in to the temple. Just a simple deed like that, I'm sure he can feel the compassion of you, and he will think that, yeah, this is the first steps that I should come, I should step into Fogongshan or even to learn Buddhism. And second thing, to give others hope, and it's integrated with compassions or passions, pay. How to give others hope? It's just like King Prashanajit and even his disciples, Anuruddha, and even Pintaka. These are the way that the Buddha has the passions or the compassions for these beings, the sentient beings, and he knows that everyone needs a different so-called teaching or different methods, a simple way to help them. So they have this confidence, and then they say, yes, my future is full of hopes. Yes, there's another path that I can actually pursue further. He goes. And by giving others joys, it's actually joys in the immeasurable mind also. How to give others joys if I'm not happy? Am I right? So when we practice Buddhism, we know a lot about so-called impermanence, and we know about cause and conditions. Why are we not happy? Why there's no joy at all in our life? Why? That's my topic tomorrow. Why you all don't feel happy at all? Why you all cannot find joys at all? Why? Can I have one or have two hands? That you think, I don't know where joy is. 我不会欢喜 because I always 苦恼. Because we have a lot of cravings, clinging on to certain, desires, or craving for more, but I didn't get what I want. Let's say yesterday a student was telling me, I said, what is your happiness? He said, I want more money. Yeah. I said, today you win a lottery of 10,000. Tomorrow you will try your luck, you want 20,000. And it goes on and on and on. It has no ending. So what is joy? It's a bonus that today you are able to talk to me. You agree? Then he said, yeah. I said, even today you strike the lottery. Tomorrow you will not come and see me anymore. Then what is the meaning of 10,000 to you? No point. So I say joy is because we have a lot of craving and desirations. And there are a lot of things that we attach to that we cannot let go. So we don't see the sense, or we don't feel the sense of joy. So then the Buddha comes in and talks to us about the Four Noble Truths. Why life is suffering? Actually, life is not suffering. It is because of our attachment, and we doesn't have the right understanding and right thoughts on the teaching of the Buddha. Yeah. So we can't find. We really don't know what joy is about. So if we are able to let go, or we are able to so-called, of course everyone has desirations, but there must be a limit. You can earn money, but how much is enough for you and the necessity of your life? I think you can feel a life of joy. I was sharing with them one story. I said, I have a friend of mine who was living at 3-room flat. And then the husband was telling the wife, my friend, and say, you see my colleagues, they have been upgrading, their house to 5 rooms, and some even living in condominium. I think we should look forward, to buying a house, a bigger house. My friend is very wise. Probably he listened to me most of the time. Then my friend, the wife, told the husband, said, hey John, don't be silly. We must be satisfied with this 3-room flat. It's spacious enough for me and 2 of us with one of our boy. Don't you think once you work out for we stay in a condominium, you have to pay extra expenses. You got to work extra hard. And I don't think you will enjoy any facilities. That's because every time you come back, you are damn tired. So why are you paying the facilities? Let others enjoy. So, and then the third thing is, if you go on this way, I think you have lesser bonds with the family, even your boys. I think he will hardly see you. And every time you come back, you come with a sore face. And he said, don't disturb me, stop! All this thing. Then you really make the relation so sore. Then he tells you, hey John, I think give up the idea of upgrading our house to a bigger house. I think this is fine. Just good. A wise friend, a wise wife. So you can lead a happy life. That's it. Very simple. So Buddhism, or probably Dharma, is not just on the sutras or on the teaching of the Buddha, but it's actually a daily life. And Venerable Master integrated this 4 givings to let us how to practice. As long as you're able to practice confidence, hope, joy, and of course the last one, to give others convenience. When that means to give, but in so-called the 4 givings to give others convenience. Take for example, when I say to give, when someone was on the road and he was waiting for a taxi, and that happens to me. He was waiting for a taxi and he couldn't get one. Someone drove the car and passed, and he stopped there in front. He said, hi, can I help you? They say, yeah, I'm waiting for a taxi. Where do you want to go? I say, I'm going to Thompson Road. Oh yes, on the way I can drop you. Wow, how sweet. And I was really late. I'm rushing for time. But after I bought his car, I was like, 哎呦，不懂好人还是坏人。 But I'm not worried because I'm sure Singapore is safe, and furthermore, I'm a venerable, so he cannot sell me. That fella got to feed me. I think he lost. Yeah, wrong investment. So the kind of joy and so-called confidence, and then also joy that he gave me on that day was really so sweet, and I really appreciate that. So I say, I have nothing to share with you, but I have this small little, souvenirs. I would like to share it with you. And he is also so very happy. He said, oh, thank you. This is something very nice. So we have a very short communication before, I drop off. So by giving others convenience, It's not only to, like, providing with, let's say, food or, donations or whatever. Provide a smile. It's also something that is good by giving it to others. Yeah, some convenience. All right. So now, Venerable Masters integrated these 4 things, and then he set an objective for Fo Guangshan Sangha Order, an event, and also the BLIAs. He says, like what I mentioned earlier, he says to propagate the Dharma through culture is actually so approachable. And then to foster talents to education is actually to train Dharma propagator. And then to benefit the society to charity, charity event, then this is how we bring the monastics and so-called the lay people in harmony. We conduct a lot of activities, am I right? Then to purify human minds through spiritual cultivations. And then all these devotees, all these different organizations and communities, they actually comes in to support. Or even our so-called, what is this, leader, what, neighborhood, the PA, all this thing. They also came in to support Fo Guangshan's activities. So actually I have a slides to show you, but this is the slides. Look at when we what you call in charity wise. This is more on the charity wise. The first picture is it was a tsunami. I think in Japan in two or 3 years ago. So middle of the night we pack everything and ship. Immediately we fly it to Japan. The second picture also. The third picture is actually local. I think it's 2 years ago during Chinese New Year. There was an earthquake at the southern part of Taiwan. It was real bad. And the very next morning we prepared all this thing and we sent it to the so-called the area. And then the bottom parts that you can see is actually our old folks home in Eland. We also provide cares. And another one, you can see the children that playing drums. They are the Aborigines. Their schools was actually destroyed during the Typhoon Morocco, I think 5 or 6 years ago. So we helped them to rebuild the schools, and then these children, have a chance to continue their educations. Then this was one of the occasions where they are celebrating the 2nd year of the school's reopening. Then they invite Fo Guangshan's Venerables to join the occasion. And then right on the left-hand side, you can see all these children, they are Brazilians. We call it the Rulai Zizhi, the sons of Rulai. They come from the swamp area. And these children, they are very fortunate that they are able to learn something, or they have a chance to, so-called educations. So Venerable Master says, we want to propagate Buddhism, we have to have many different skills. So by 4 giving, or 3 good acts, 4 givings, or even 5 harmonies, these are so-called humanistic way or humanity way to propagate Buddhism to the society, to bring peace to the world, and so on. So now I'm going to show you the slides. It takes about 60 minutes.
In 1967, Foguangshan was once full of hemp bamboos, desolate and rustic. We spent almost 30 years constructing Foguangshan. And another 10 years building Foguangshan Buddha Museum. The preparation and completion of this Sutra Repository Dharma Treasure Mountain also took almost about 10 years. But now, globally, Foguangshan already has about 300 branch temples. Buddha's Light International Association was established in 1992. Now there are more than 100 chapters, and in 2003 became a member of United Nations non-governmental organizations. Foguangshan, monastic and laity, propagate Dharma through culture together, to foster talents through education, to benefit society through philanthropy, to purify human minds through spiritual cultivation, to actualize the promotion of humanistic Buddhism. The teachings of the Tathagata. 2,500 years ago, the Buddha spoke the 12 divisions of Mahayana canon of Tripitaka and expounded 84,000 Dharma gates that transcend past, present, and future. It all unfolds at a time, meaning that the truth is perpetual. Over the past 40 years, Fo Guangshan Canon Committee compiled and edited 16 categories. Using modern technologies allows an immediate search for Buddhist doctrines. Through app search, has also translated many Buddhist books into more than 20 languages so that they could be popularized all over the world. These results are due to the untiring efforts of the monastic. In the vast world, courage and faith were recorded. Strength through the words of prajna has influence afar. The complete works of Venerable Master Hsing has a collection of 365 volumes towards propagating Buddhism in sounding loud the times of a modern era. Fo Guangshan globally established 25 Fo Guangyuan art galleries, which exhibit Buddhist artifacts of over 1,000 years and also promote local art activities. Music is the common language of the world. Through the melody and rhythm, to experience the significance of Dharma. Siddhartha Musical Concert, transcending the time and space in presenting the life of Buddha. Fo Guangshan Buddhist Hymn Choir was formed bringing the melody of Buddhist chanting all over the globe. A magnificent musical concert, sounds of the human world, bringing out the euphonious song, connecting with the Buddha's mind. From building a monastery to house the Sangha, to propagating Dharma to the public, are the common vows of all eminent monks. The first building of Fo Guangshan is the Eastern Buddhist College, which was renamed Buddhist College of Fo Guangshan Congling College. Nowadays, in the 5 continents, 16 Buddhist colleges have been established one after another, fostering talents through education in Buddhism in response to lay Buddhist intrigue. The yearn to cultivate a monastic life has established branches of temples globally to organize short-term monastic retreat for the laity, as well as an academy of classical learning, adopting skillful channels to enhance their faith in learning the Dharma. To implement a holistic education worldwide, Master Hsing established a consistent and complete system through virtues, wisdom, experience, team, and beauty, collectively advancing by embracing these 5 aspects towards a diverse development. To enhance the standard of education, Fo Guang University in Yilan was founded, Nanhua University in Jiayi, University of the West in the US, Nantian University in Australia, Guangming College in the Philippines. Temples to Learning Academy were institutionalized with the aim to set up Fo Guangshan Open University, marching towards a lifelong learning trend, nourishing the spiritual mind to learn the Dharma. Taking away the sufferings of others and conferring on them happiness is a display of compassion of Buddhism. In 1956, Venerable Master Hsing, he personally visited prisons and lectured on the Dharma for the prisoners. This set the pioneering example of Buddhist edification in prisons. When Fo Guangshan was first established, Lanyang Renai Senior Citizen Home was set up for the aged, and Dashi Children's Home for the orphans. During world disasters, Fo Guangshan would mobilize its members all over the world to send relief to disaster areas, hold deliverance service for the deceased, and give victims peace of mind. For 50 years, the task to care and respect for the elderly and children has never stopped. Chan and Pure Land is like the vast ocean that cleanses the mind of all suffering beings to provide relief for disasters. Our worldwide Fo Guangshan branch temples have been promoting humanistic Buddhism through spiritual cultivation, educating from our daily lives how one can learn and practice the Dharma. Venerable Master Hsing, who admires the Buddha all his life, took the initiative in organizing a festival parade on the Buddha's birthday. Owing to his 46 years endeavor, the Buddha's birthday has finally become a national festival. In around the world, he also promotes celebration of the birth of Prince Siddhartha. In 2011, the construction of Fo Guangshan Buddha Museum was completed. It honors the Buddha's tooth relic and enables the public to pay their respects to it, to bring up the way of life and develop modernization in Buddhism in promoting a brand new milestone. Fo Guangshan, it's not only a bodhisattva monastery where Buddhist culture, local and abroad, ancient and modern assembles, Sangha and laity are on an equal footing. Culture, education, charity, Dharma propagation, and pilgrimage fuse together as a center of faith. The Buddha is like light, the Dharma is like water, the Sangha is like a field. May every visitor be nourished by the Dharma water and obtain wisdom as vast as the ocean.
I think the video speaks better than me. This is a good blueprint of what Venerable Masters, his plan for humanistic Buddhism. You see, from the first, the beginning of the video, that how 50 years when during the chaotic time, when Venerable Master was born in China, it was during the war time. And then when he came to Taiwan, it was also during the Civil War time. So it's actually all these periods of chaotic period, but he didn't give up. He thinks that peace is very important. He thinks that this is the period of time that every one of us needs Buddhism. But by looking at the present at that time, during the early 50s and 60s, Buddhism was not so prosperous, in Taiwan or probably in China. They are more on the superstitious side. And these people was thinking Buddhism is not something that we should follow because got a lot of restrictions, and then you can't do this, you can't do that. So it's not a popular religion that we, people that wanted to learn. And Venerable Masters was thinking, no, how should I bring Buddhism's, become part and parcel of their life? And I wanted, he did say temples in the schools in the temple, or families, 家庭佛法化, 佛法家庭化, that means you can practice Buddhism in your family or even in your daily life. Doesn't mean that Buddhism can only be practiced in the monastery. So he worked on all this. Then he starts with the constructions of different branch temples globally. That we have more than 250 branch temples globally that reached out to different aspects of people. And then we have so-called educations. And then we have more than 16 Buddhist college and 4 universities. And even kindergarten, primary school, and high school. All this education provides to, so-called beings or these people. It's not just to spread Buddhism, but to let them have the confidence of what Buddhism is about. Because all our schools is not, besides Buddhist college, all the rest of the schools, let's say universities or even the kindergarten, what we transmit the message is on the Buddha's intent, the compassions, kindness, and then righteous virtues. All this, we actually pass all this so-called very valuable things to the students or the children, in educations. And then the next one where we can see is on culture. Venerable Master set up, I think 17 or even have more now. We have exhibition center or arts gallery globally all over the world. And this arts gallery doesn't only cover Buddhism's arts or arts artifacts, with religion's field, but we invite artists that with very creative artists or they have very good handicraft things. We also invite them to come to our exhibition hall. And then from the piece of work, let's say a scripture, a calligraphy, you can actually, if I'm a non-Buddhist, when I come in and I look at the word for, what does that mean? I appreciate the art first, and then I come in and understand what for means. So this is also a skillful ways, Venerable Masters through culture. He spreads Buddhism, and then he comes in and to learn Buddhism. And then we also have the mobile clinics on charity. We also have the mobile clinic, and even we have the mobile libraries that goes to the remote area, and to allow the children that they can borrow the books and then they can read. And even we have volunteers to go to the schools to tell stories and so on. So Venerable Masters, he's a man who shouldered the greatest historical responsibility of how a Buddhist should reform in a modern era. Because when Venerable Master wanted to start all this so-called career or his way of spreading or propagating humanistic Buddhism, it's actually been pointed by so many, so-called the seniors, monks in Taiwan. He says, oh no, Venerable Master, Master Hsing Yun, he's an evil. How can he sing, in a temple? How can he conduct, activities and make everyone dance and so on? Then it's such a noisy and busy event. I don't think the monastics, the Fo Guangshan monastics practice, they are they are not a good practitioner. 他们都没有修行的。So Venerable Master says it's okay. Whether 有修行 or 没有修行, it's not up to you to grade us, but it's a matter of how we propagate the Dharma, how we have reached out to more, sentient beings. So you see, he has all this, heavy burdens that he has to, shoulder on. And the success lies in the fact that he follows the tradition in a way that he brings back the good traditions of Buddhism in time. Do you agree? Yes. If during those times, let's say in the Buddha's time, that everyone has to go arms round, then you have to sleep under the tree, I don't think Buddhism will prosper till today. And you cannot get devotees to follow. Because under the hot sun, I want a 5-room flat. I don't even want a tree. So it's quite difficult. So actually, he managed to integrate this tradition, to modernity, and then he used a very unique way to propagate Buddhism, and this is what we call the Humanistic Buddhism. And he is truly reviving the Chinese Buddhism into so-called the modern and contemporary Buddhism. Yeah, so this is my sharing of Venerable Master's, blueprint of Humanistic Buddhism. Yeah, so if you have any question, you can just raise. When we say definitions, like what I brought up earlier, from the first beginning, when we say humanistic, so 它是跟 human 有关系的. Am I right? I cannot talk something that you don't understand. Let's say I tell you, wow, the cosmos got how many planets, and then there are different deities living in a different level. You become very metrical. Am I right? Then you will start to get confused. Then what is there for me to learn? What should I learn? And what is the proper path that I should follow? What is the method? All right? So we speak a language, or we teach something that is beneficial to humans, and it can help them to practice, to make them, to help them to lead a better life. That is the definition of Humanistic Buddhism. All right? When we say Buddhism is actually, so-called the teaching passed down by the Buddha, so we call it Buddhism. Humanistic is actually something, of what the Buddha teaches is applicable, and is useful, to human. Yeah. The answer to your questions? All right. Then you talk about 3 good acts, 4 all this is, this is how is way of how we practice. Yeah. Okay, if I want to elaborate on 学佛 in Chinese terms, okay, you 学习佛陀的精神. So we call it 学佛. What we want to learn from the Buddha? What is the uniqueness of the Buddha? What is his characteristic? What is his characteristic? Anyone? What is the Buddha's characteristic? Compassion. One more? Wisdom. And one more? Equanimity. He has no discrimination of whether you are the Sakya group, or you are, the royal family, or you come from the noble family. No. He speaks the same thing. He delivers the same teaching to all these people. Equanimity. That's the characteristics of Buddhism. So what we want to learn from the Buddha, we want to learn from the Buddha with loving kindness. And we want to practice what the Buddha has been doing. Because he has no discrimination between the good and bad. And he doesn't reprimand people who does wrong. But instead, he gives us a directions. It's just like lighting up a light when we are in a dark room. It was total darkness. I don't know where's the direction. And the Buddha's teaching is just like a light that lights up, that breaks all the darkness. So 学佛 is what we want to learn from the Buddha. And for 佛学, we say 佛陀教我们怎么学. So this called 佛学. So what the Buddha teaches is the teaching let's say the simple things, 3 Dharma seal. That is the origin that the Buddha says, there's nothing, I mean, in this world there is no so-called permanent. There's no so-called a permanent self. And this world is keep changing, you know. So what is happiness? Is when you understand these teachings, then you are enlightened and you attain, you know, nirvana. And he talks about the simple teaching on 4 noble truths. How suffering comes in is because of our grasping. You know, we grasp and then we have a lot, you know, desirations, and that causes this life to be suffering. All right? So he teaches the way, how you cease suffering. You have to follow the Noble Eightfold Path. These are the teachings that the Buddha teaches. So if we are able to follow and, you know, just practice according to the basic teaching of the Buddha, I think that is good enough. It's very applicable in our life. Then when you are more rooted or you are more familiar with the Buddha and you have confidence and faith in his teaching, then you go deep into the discourse. Let's say the sutra, you base on certain sutra, let's say Prajnaparamita Sutra or Agama Sutra. You can read, or the life of the Buddha. These are the things that, you know, can bring us more profound or more, you know, deeper understanding to what the Buddha is. So 佛学跟学佛 is totally different. Yeah. If I only concentrate in 佛学, but I really don't know what I should practice. 我没有学佛，我只有佛学。That is not humanistic Buddhism. Humanistic Buddhism is both. It's the integration of these 2 things. Yeah. Okay? So Venerable Master's intention to spread humanistic Buddhism, but then why he wants to write this book? Because whatever humanistic Buddhism propagates is actually the intent of the Buddha, and is the truth of what the Buddha has taught us. In events, we conduct events. What is the purpose of having all these events? Is to integrate, it is to bring everyone together, and then, you know, we learn together, because everyone is unique. So, you know, in this event we can share, okay, oh, he has a talent, you know, in let's say with photographing, and then he has a talent with video, he has a talent with doing all, you know, the publicity things. We all come together. But from this event, besides conducting an event, we also learn Dharma. We have to be patient, isn't it? We must have the wisdom, so we must be wise enough how we coordinate work. And then we must know how to interact with, you know, the opposite people, other people. All these are very important. This consider very basic things, but all this comes from the teaching of the Buddha. Yeah, so it's actually the intent of the Buddha. Yeah. Yeah. I hope really the videos can give you a better idea on what humanistic Buddhism is about. Because like what it says, when I want to do my preparations to do a summary on this book, which I was scratching, how should I start and how should I go? Then after writing all these notes, I think I cannot cover 1.5 hours. I think I use a video. A video can speak better. Yeah, then I really thank you, you know, for your attention and your attendance tonight. And may the Buddha bless everyone with healthy body, and may we gain great wisdom through more practice, you know. And for those who have more times, you can come and attend our, you know, Dharma class. 3 good acts, 4 givings, is it? 5 how many is it? How I practice in my daily life, right? So you want me to talk on this? But I just briefly can tell you all, 3 good acts is very simple. Actually, if we want to talk about Buddha's teaching, it's actually 身口意。我们身口意一定要亲近嘛, correct? So by doing good deeds, you know, it's very simple things. Come here, sweep the floor, serve the tea. This is some good deeds. Rather than, you know, I don't know what kind of bad deeds that we can do outside lah, but yeah. as a household, let's say husband and wife, when you come back from work, yeah, even though you're very tired, but you can just help your wife or your husbands, with the housework. Maybe you all can share. This is something good. This is also a good act. Yeah. So speak good words, of course, when they come back. Oh, you're so tired. Come, I massage, or probably come, I give you a cup of drinks. Then you can, so-called share after a day's work with your wife or your husband. By speaking good words, more on an encouragement, this can be done. Yeah. Then of course, good thoughts, you always think good things. Good thoughts can be a lot of, don't think negatively. When your husband comes back late, this man, he has another partner outside. Don't think that way. Hey, my wife didn't come back again. It must be, with those wives, all kepo, gossipers, all together. Don't have that kind of thoughts. The first thing that comes in your mind is say, oh, why is she late? I think she must be very tired when she comes back. Let's give her a surprise. Do something for her. Maybe prepare, some drinks, her favorite drinks for her. Isn't this good deeds? Speak good words, also have good thoughts. It can be applicable in your daily life. Yeah, forgiving, like what I just mentioned earlier, and then we can just follow the Buddha. Of course, 5 harmonies comes with you yourself. If you are not happy with yourself, you cannot spread happiness to others. If you are able to be happy with you, then 2 of us will be happy, both your friends, you and the other friends. And then both of you will be happy. You're able to bring this happiness back to your family. Am I right? If let's say I'm not happy, I quarrel with others. She's not happy, I'm not happy. Both of them bring our angers back to our family, and then we start to spread this virus, and everybody gets angry at home. So I'm happy, she's happy, family is happy. So when we have harmony in the family, definitely we will not create havoc to the society. Right? We will not kill, we will not steal, we will not harm anyone. So of course the society will be harmonized. Then once the society is harmonized, the world will be harmonized. So this is humanistic Buddhism. Is easy to practice. And this is not anything that's separate from the teaching of the Buddha. No. It's still within. You need to have a calm mind in order to practice 3, 4, 5. You agree with me? If your mind is not calm, you cannot do all these things. So meditations, like what from the so-called the origin teaching, the Theravada, the Mahayana, or even the esoteric traditions, they practice meditations. So once your mind is calm, your mind is clear, then you can practice all these 5 together. Then of course you can carry out, the 4 immeasurable mind, the 4 so-called 4 great vows, the Bodhisattva path. Yeah, I almost forgot one very important thing. Humanistic Buddhism is actually a path to practice Bodhisattva path. Okay, it's a Bodhisattva path. What Venerable Master is doing is like a Bodhisattva. That he have no discriminations, that who is rich, who is poor, who is pretty, who is ugly, who is smart and who is not. No. He gave the same so-called teachings. He shared the same benefits to everyone. Take for example, Fo Guangshan or even the Buddha Memorial Center. Just now you saw the building. It's free admissions. You go to any of the outlets, you don't have to pay a single cent. If you're hungry, you can go to one of the restaurants. It's a free donation. You can put $1, even $2. You can take 5 bowls of rice. Nobody will come after you. So this is how, we practice Buddhism, humanistic Buddhism in our daily life. And it's really a Bodhisattva path. Zibei Sisa is also a Bodhisattva path. The vow of a Bodhisattva. Yeah. Okay? Well, if I were to look at this thing, I would say we human beings have no proper understanding of so-called impermanence. we always think that things are permanent. So I can continue to do. I practice, never mind, later, 40 years later, I practice Buddhism. Take for example, I learned Buddhism, I come to the temple, I even attend the Dharma class, and I heard, but if this this cup is filled with water, nothing can be added in, because they come with his own concepts already. And if these concepts cannot be changed, no new concepts can come in. So this is why it says they take things as permanence. But if they know, they understand the teaching of impermanence, they will think every day, if I'm able to wake, it's a bonus. So what is there to argue? What is there, to fight for all these things? What is there to grasp on? Then he will be a very good Buddhist. Yeah. It's just that 我们对无常的这两个字根本不了解。Yes, the very basic teaching of the Buddha, the three Dharma seal, the Four Noble Truths, the Noble Eightfold Path. If you are able to practice this thing, I tell you, you don't have to read the sutras, you can be enlightened. Enlightenment is not something that I can certify you. Like one of my students formerly, he always asks me, how do I know whether I'm enlightened or not? It cannot be certified, but it's an experience. Enlightenment is an experience. We cannot be like the Buddha that have ultimate, enlightenment, but we can have daily enlightenment. Take for example, today you attended a course, and then, the teacher said something, and then you have been, troubled all the while because, maybe you are so attached to certain things. And then today you come for the class, and then the teacher give you one word, and you are being enlightened. You say, oh yes, I understand, then I should let go. You are enlightened at this moment. Yeah, enlightenment is not something that, it's so profound that we cannot attain. We don't compare with the Buddha, but we say in our daily life, when we really want to practice Buddhism, daily enlightenment, we can actually experience it. Next time, don't tell your friends you're going for prayer. Don't. Yeah. I'm going to increase my wisdom. 我要增加我的智慧，我要去找，我要去学习，怎么样子让我更快乐。I'm going to find a path, and that's why I'm attending this. I'm going to Foguangshan, to find my happiness, because that is the place where I can find happiness. He will come, because everyone wants happiness. Am I right? He will definitely follow you. But if you say prayers, people were very stern. They will say, 哎呀，我不要拜拜的啊 I cannot sit there and do chanting. I don't even understand any Chinese scriptures. They will not come. But you will just tell them, say, 我来学习怎么快乐，我要学习怎么为人服务，我要学习怎么给人家信心快乐。This thing, they will come. Your friend will follow you because they are curious. Yeah. Now, you don't just stay away from them. Of course, you can participate. Let's say they are doing some other talks. Then you just pick one of the point. I don't know what kind of talks they will be. You just take one. You need Dharma at this time. You transform this thing into Dharma and share with them. You can even come up with a joke or things like that. Then once, twice, I think they will stop. Yeah, because it's quite common, because like we have a lot of times to waste, I mean, to me, 没有时间讲这种话, but they will, spend their times, having idle talk. But you cannot stop people, because this is individual's character. It's okay. Let the nature takes the path. It's all right. Yeah. 你不要太在意, how they react to it. I mean, it's okay. That's why I say you once in a while you can join, but you transform these talks into some Dharma. That requires wisdom lah. Yeah, attend Dharma talk. Attend the Dharma class. Yeah. Yeah, very nice to meet you again. Yeah, those who attended last night's class, and welcome back to the second sessions. And again, I would like to, thanks Tangchu for Huangshan Singapore, Venerable Miaomu for her invitation. Actually, every place I go is only one session, but Singapore got 2 sessions. So my topic yesterday is more on Humanistic Buddhism, and my topic today will be more on happiness, which is more related to our daily life. I would like to ask a question. Do you all read newspapers daily? And usually when you flip the papers, what do you notice? Huh? Complaints. And then? Suicides. What else? Sufferings. Huh? Gossips. Newspaper got gossip, huh? So we realize that when you flip the papers are all very what? Negative things. Am I right? Then even you turn on the televisions, regardless of news or even some TV series, what would you look forward that you want to, get from this news media, or you want to get from this TV series that you're watching? 你们想要得到什么? While you switch on your TV and you want to watch this video, what do you look forward to? 你们看一定有目的的吗? Right? Relaxation? 你们看电视干嘛的? 做什么用? What is the purpose of switching on the television to see how our Ling Ling there act, is it?
没事是看电视。
哦，没事 for relaxation, am I right, sister? Yeah. But when you want to, you really want to relax yourself, you switch on the television, but what you see is not what you get, am I right? You actually want to relax yourself, but from what they projected to you, let's say you see a movie, TV series, and it talks about family fighting, so-called arguments, plotting, how to harm one another, 尤其是那种中国的古代戏 that's the worst thing. They always plot how, you're going to take advantage on other people, all this thing, right? Do you think when you plan that in, you'll be happy after you watch that show? Raise your hand. Lucky you all didn't raise your hand. That is the right way. We just watch, and then we learn from that so-called movie, or even, after we heard the news. It should not interrupt the way we lead our life. Take, for example, like what our little girl here says. Whatever we heard, or when we read, it is always murder, killing, accident, suicide cases. We have to tell ourselves, why? Is this world really that gloomy? Is my life really that gloomy? We always must ask ourselves a question. But by asking yourself such a question, you have to be positive yourself. But if your mind is negative, and then with all this information that comes in, it's actually add on to your negativity. Don't you agree with me? So you will think that, this world is full of suffering. This world is full of disasters. And then by reading the newspaper or even from the TV movies, you will say, yeah, I live exactly like this actor or this actress. Yeah, that's happening to me. 我跟他是一模一样的. You will have such a feeling, definitely. But is the world really such? Is the world full of sufferings? Those you think that you don't have any sense of happiness, you don't know what's happiness about, please raise a hand. 没有感受到有 happiness 的，天哪，你们真的好苦哦。Nobody raise of hands. You're not happy at all? Good. Happy then 为什么 raise your hand? Only these happy couples raise the hand. Okay, those you think that you are leading a very suffering life and you hardly have experience of happiness. A raise of hand. So what? You are neutral. No happy, no sadness.
乐在其中。
乐在其中. Yeah, good. That's great. Yeah. You see, we actually live in an environment of happiness, or it's a joyful environment.
but we don't sense it. It's because there are a lot of negative energy in within us. I say sufferings can be very lasting, but happiness can be very short. I always, excuse me, I use an example of the children. When the children did something good, and then the parents, reward the child with something, and then the boys are very happy. Wow, so happy. Then if the child did something wrong, take for example, immediately after the parents, reward this child. And then he come up with the papers and he say, "Hey, mommy, I'm so sorry today I only scored 50 marks. You waste my money, giving you tuitions, and this is the result, you gave it to me." Then he cannot whack or something like that. Do you think just now the rewards will be remembered forever or the wagging remembered forever? It's the caning that remembered forever. He forgot about the sweetness of happiness, but he only remembered the period of suffering. Similarly, it goes to us. It's actually a mental state, our mental states on whether you feel happy or you don't feel happy. So 我们要转念嘛, in Buddhism we say we have to transform, we have to transcend our present thinking. If you think that you have a lot of negative thoughts, then you should transcend yourself to a positive one. Then how? 师父，生病痛就是痛 how to 转念? Am I right? This is realistic. Yeah. Then I asked, I said, if you think that you are suffering, and then you doesn't want to change, and you remain suffering, is that the life that you want? If that is the life you want, then by all means you can carry on. But usually we doesn't want, am I right? We look forward to happiness. We look forward to, what you call a paradise that we are living in. But if we don't transform our thoughts, we can never find happiness. Yeah. So I'm going to show you the next slides here. Can I read? If you attend to others' faults, your fault finding itself is wrong. Yeah. Others' fault I do not treat as wrong. My faults are my own transgressions. And then simply cast out the mind that finds fault. One cast away, troubles are gone. This is by Venerable Huinan. I use an example. Before I use my example to share, anyone can tell me what kind of fault we usually have or what kind of fault we usually find. What kind of fault? You never find fault with other people, ah? You're perfect bodhisattva leh. Wow. When I attend the previous class, got so many hands, what kind of fault they find with others? Find fault with themselves and also find fault with others. I use an example of a couple. When they, let's say this couple, and then the wife, especially the ladies are more sensitive. Say tomorrow is our anniversary. I'm going to wait, see John's any 表现, what he's going to show me and present to me or any surprise that he's going to give me. Tomorrow is our anniversary. So the wife, after work, come back early. Then he waited for his husband to ask a question. Tomorrow, how we celebrate? But he was so silent. No response from the husband. She's a little, okay, never mind. And the actual day is tomorrow. And the husband don't even present flowers, or even a ring or any simple gift. Then the wife comes back with a sore face. Then the husband realized something wrong. He say, hey, darling, what happened? Are you too tired with your work today? Why you come back, with this so-called very sour face? You don't know me? You don't know what's today's date, me? Don't you forget something very special today? And the husband say, I can't remember. What's wrong? What's the day today? It's our anniversary. Then you forgot. Oh yeah, sorry. I'm so sorry. Right? And then this is finding fault with yourself. It's actually nothing, isn't it? Forget 不是 forget 咯，对吧？ Hey, the husband don't kind of change something. Others' fault, I do not treat it as wrong. My fault, as my own transgression. As an understanding husband, he will apologize. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's such an important day, but I forgot. I'll replace tomorrow. He will not have a further argument or quarrel with the wife for being so nasty. Forget lah. Why must you show me a face like that? Then, this thing will come in, right? Then you'll solve your relationship. But I know that I'm in fault. It's actually my own transgression. So I just apologize. And I say, hey, darling, tomorrow I replace one. I bring you to the don't know what restaurant, or I buy you the best present. And what you want, you tell me, I shall buy for you. It solves the problem, isn't it? The third one. Simply, all these things can cast off the mind if you find the faults. Once it's cast away, everything is gone. So the relationship with, both husband and wife, or even your colleagues, it will just smooth off. It will not carry anything in within your mind. It will not carry forward to the next, so-called stage or even the next day. Everything is gone. Why is there? To have all this unhappiness. You always tell yourself, I live on till today is actually to find happiness, not to find any faults with anybody. Then in your life, what kind of faults that people usually pin on you? 没有啊？哇，你们真的在人间修行耶。Those in the workforce, in your working place, I'm sure you all get all this thing, right? You work so hard. Here come your manager or your supervisor. Hey, you 冇讀冊啊? Spelling also you cannot spell properly, huh? Short of one A, short of one B. Then how this kind of report can present or not? Then he starts to scold. Then of course, in your position, you were that serious, man. Short of one A typing error, ma. I overlook. Yeah, it's my fault, but it's not that serious. Am I right? Then if you can let go person, then you just let go. Or you are the, we practice Buddhism, right? We say give other happiness, joy, give convenience, hopes, and so on. So you must give hope to yourself. Then I will do better. Thank you for telling me my mistakes. Next time, I'll be more careful. You learned, and you also build up a very good relationship with your colleagues. So it's not a big deal at all. So happiness is actually within your grasp. Alright? So now I'm going to ask this question. It's very, very, very interesting one. Right? What is happiness to you all? Can I have just 3 hands? 3 hands. What is happiness to you all? 来，快点. Come. Don't worry. Yes. Wow. Peace of mind is your happiness. Okay, another hands, please. Yes. Contentment, very good. Acceptance by others is happiness. Okay, very good. I must give a praise to all our Dharma brothers here. You are very negative. What? The previous class I got with them, they gave me this answer. Happiness is money. Those who think that you have a lot of money, you are the happiest person, give a raise of hand. 你们真的在净土哎！想钱有钱，对不对？想吃有东西吃 right? So you have no worries about all this thing. I mean, it's a very realistic thing for money. Got one of the students was telling me, 师父, in this world, no money, no talk. No money, no fun. No money, no happiness. I say I fully agree with you. But money is not something that can solve or can bring us a true happiness. I use Steve Jobs, as an example. I say he's a genius. He learned a lot of money. And then at his end of his life, he wrote on his book, he said he has a lot of money, but this money cannot buy him health. This money cannot prolong his life. And what he regretted was, he spends most of his time pursuing money, pursuing for his career, or even her status. He got all these things. But what he lose out, a very important thing was having a very close relationship with his family. He doesn't have any happiness with his so-called, he cannot find so-called happiness when he was with his family. Because all the while, he work and work and work. What he wants is he wants to achieve certain things. So when we think that yes, money is important, but money is not the ultimate things that we should pursue in our life to make us happier. I said today if you touch a lottery $10,000. Wow, 赚到了. I can have two hands. Can you please tell me how you spend this $10,000? Be realistic 不要让我开心. Be realistic. If today you have $10,000 with you, how you spend this 10,000? It is not wrong. It's really not wrong. But when we use this money in the right way, a correct place, this money has its value. But when we gain a lot of money, I start to say, I want to buy a branded car. I want to buy a diamond, how many carats. I want to buy myself, beautiful clothes, branded stuff. I can tell you, this $10,000 within a snap is all gone. What brings and what follows behind is suffering. Do you agree? Yes. You will definitely get that kind of results. Because you will not stop craving for what I get now. Because you get used to it already. I must travel in a luxury car. Okay, I must go to a most expensive restaurants. I must wear beautiful and branded stuff. It becomes a habit. And in order to satisfy yourself with all these craving and desirations, it adds on to your suffering, that's for sure. So money is not the ultimate happiness that we can pursue, right? Second thing, who think that love will bring me happiness? Love can be your family members, your friends, or even love in readings, all these things. Yeah? What kind of love that you think is a real happiness to you? Then because you are filled with love, and that's why you think that everywhere you go you spread the love, and then you find happiness, right? That's very good. Every one of us are very positive. Oh, I believe you all lead a very good life. Yeah.
师父教导有方。
佛陀教导有方. Now, I say, love is not so-called the ultimate happiness. We will face separations one day. See, I love my parents, I love my brothers, sisters, right? I love all my members, I knew them. But one day, if let's say there's an argument, we have a fight or we have a quarrel, then, we just go on our own way. I think friends also happens to do that, isn't it? Then, are you going to feel that, oh, that's the end of my world? I say couple, those, what do you call, courting, during the courtship time, hug shoulder, happy. Then one day, this boy say, hey Mary, sorry, I got a better one than you. And Mary will say, wow, that's the end of my life. I want to, end my life. You see a lot of commit suicide things. It happens is because of this thing. Then where is the love? Where is it? Where can you find it now? It's gone. It becomes hatred. Am I right? So it's not an ultimate. Of course, love is important, but it's not the ultimate happiness that we should pursue. Then those who pursue for fame, and then they think that yes, with my status I have, wow, with whatever I gained, the fame I have now is my greatest happiness, because everywhere I go they say 老板好 你好 wow, you're so, in Chinese we say you're very airy, yeah? Is that there's also states of mind that we have a sense that fame is very important to us, and we keep pursuing. That is again, is not the ultimate. Okay? And the last one, academic. No students here, we all was past students before. Before we become a working group, we are actually pursuing for academic also. Academic is very important. Last, I think the second sessions, there was this students from Fo Xue Yuan. They sit and they say, 师父, academic bring me happiness. I say, yeah, then you share. Then he shared his example. I say from primary school, secondary school, I go to JC, I go to U, and I pursue even further. Now I got my PhD. Yeah, I have my status. I got this paper. I can become a director. I can become a CEO. I can become a whoever. That's because I pursue my academic. So now I'm enjoying my hard work. Huh? Then I asked him. I said, when you climb up all the way to these stages, but your character, you don't have a very good moral character, do you think you gain happiness with this piece of paper? I share an example, Ajahn Brahm, no? You all heard of him, Ajahn Brahm? Venerable Ajahn Brahm. He said when he was young, his mother said, boy, you must study hard, then you'll be happier when you grow older. So primary school, he studied very hard. And then he managed to get into a very famous secondary school. And then the mom again says, boy, you must study hard, then your future will be very happy. And then again, say, yeah, he studied hard, very, very hard, study. And he go to his JC, high school, and even he goes to university. And he complete his entire education. He's on the top already. And he looked back. He said, my mom tell me when I was young, study, get your academic, you will be a happy person. But I don't see how happy I am. But I feel all the strugglings, all the way to struggle to get this piece of paper. So this is not true happiness. And then this is why he said he want to search for happiness. And he ended up to become a venerable. So academic is not the ultimate, so-called the true happiness that we are actually looking forward to. What is the true happiness? My point of view, and it's also a point of view. Do you agree with me that you can find happiness in religion? Can you have a raise of hand if you agree with me that you can find happiness in religion? Very good. 所以我说我们真的在净土生活，大家 you are all really bodhisattva. Those who have no religion at all, you say, 师父, I come and attend your talk, but I'm not a Buddhist, I'm a free thinker. Anyone there? That you have no religion, you have no faith at all? No, very good. Okay lah. A non-Buddhist, not only a free thinker, but you are non-Buddhist here. All Buddhists. Wow, so great. Yeah, give yourself a hand of applause. It's not a self-praise that being a Buddhist is the happiest person. Of course, other religion, regardless whether you are Catholic, you are Christians, or you are Muslims, or you are, other religion, you always find happiness in your belief. Take for example, when we feel guilty in certain things that we have done wrong, what do? For Christians, they will go and confess, right? Say, sorry, Father, I have done wrong, and please forgive me. The priest will say, yes, you are forgiven. Immediately you relieve, am I right or not? Then for those Buddhists who have guilt, let's say they did something wrong, they feel guilty, they'll go to the Buddha, they repent. And they sincerely repent, and they will so-called resolve with a vow, and they will say, I will not do this, I will not repeat the same mistake again, and please, Buddha, give me your blessings and forgive me. The moment he said that, I'm sure he's relieved also. And because we have the faith in us, we will mind our language, we will mind our behavior, and we will mind our actions, what we do. Am I right? So, without all these so-called evil things that we create, don't you think you will lead a happy life? For sure you will. And the second point, serving others. Fo Guangshan has the best stage of serving others. Who has so-called unhappiness, or you don't like to serve others? Can you have a raise of hand? You don't like, you're forced to serve. You never like. I believe none of us here. We really have the pressures, we really feel the joy when we serve others. Take for example our sister Roslyn. She's 83 this year. 86. 86. She served in a tea house even at her age. She always go with a smile. And people receive it with gratitude because at her age, she served others. And then she go with a smile. And these people receive. The food is so tasty. This is happiness, isn't it? It's intangible things, but you can feel it immediately. And then by serving others, let's say we have big events. These people comes in and out. We have different duties allocated. Then we do our parts. Then every sections that we take care of, we bring joys to others. And then these people, let's say a stranger who participated in our event, he will say, hey sisters, can you please share more about Fo Guang Shen? Or can you introduce this part I'm not too familiar with? Can you please tell me more? You are a bodhisattva, You are guiding these people into the path of Buddhism. You are guiding them back to the right path in many different skillful ways. But because of willingness to share, you're willing to serve others. You're willing to share your smile. These are so-called the blessings or the virtues that you will accumulate, through doing, serving, giving others happiness. So I share one example. There was this poor monk. He wanted to repair his temple. So he went to the city to go alms round with his alms bowl. Then he went one whole day, going to the city, going round. He managed to collect some donations, but it's insufficient fund for him to do the repair. So it go on and on. After 1 month, he says, there's no way that I can accumulate enough funds to build the temple. But this temple really, wear off. And then we have to do something to it. So his little novice or even, those monastics in the temple tell, hey masters, there's this, a rich household. Maybe we can approach him to give us, to help us with a little donations. Because rich households, they should have no problem. And then this master say, okay, let's try. Then he walked all the way, traveling from miles to miles. He came to this rich household's house. He knocked on the door. Here comes the servant. The servant said, "Ayo, 出家人呢." Then the servant asked, "Yes, can I help you, master?" Then the monk repeat and say, "Oh, I want to repair my temple, and I have not enough funds, so I would like to approach your masters to help us a little." So the servant says, "Oh, no, master. You have no way to come into my house because my master, doesn't like to meet monastics. So I think you better stay away rather than you being chased away by him. So I'm sorry, we can't help you, but I have a little tokens. Maybe you give a few dollars to this monk." And then this old monk was a bit disappointed. Then he walked back. Of course, he don't blame anybody. And then he contemplate. He says, "For me, who are unable to gather all this good affinity, is because I never built good affinity with other people. I have not enough virtues that to be able, to gather enough fund to construct or to repair my temple. I think I must build good affinity with these rich households." So he wrote the name of this so and so, let's say John, okay, I wrote John. And then he has his prayer there. Every day he does the chanting, not for asking for returns or no. This monk is not expecting any returns, but he just tell himself that he didn't build up good affinity with other people. So every day he chants, he does the chanting, he transfers his merits and the blessings to all. Hope that they have a good health and then they lead a good life and so on. Then after a period of time, one day, this rich household, John, came to the temple to so-called do a prostrations, just to li fo only, and then just to, make a prayer. Then while he was doing his prayer, he saw his name there. He got shocked. He said, "Hey, why are you all doing a prayer for me? I have never came to your temple before. I don't even know you all. But why are you all doing the prayer?" Then the little novice tell this household the whole happenings, how it goes. Then this rich household say, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I apologize. Can you please tell me how much can I help? To make enough fund for you to repair the temple." So the little novice invited the masters to meet these rich households. And then the master says, "Yeah, I feel, remorse and feel ashamed that I didn't practice enough. I don't have much virtues, to able to accumulate small funds to build the temple. I really appreciate that, you can help us up. Free donations. How much you want to help us, you just by all means." So this rich household give a fund and he says, "All these towels will be sponsored by me. I can help you with the towels, and then anything else that you need, by all means, let me know." This monk doesn't know John at all, but he is willing to do something, for the sick, not to ask for any returns, but for the sick to build a good affinity. And you see, by doing a simple things like that, what kind of returns that comes back to him is very great. So for those all Bila members who help out, in Fo Guangshan's event, or even tiny little bits of things by sweeping the floor, by mopping the table, don't think you're not the important person. Every person that comes in as a volunteer, they are the most important people in this community or in this temple. So this is how he builds a good affinity. And both of them, the rich household is happy, the monk also very happy. And this is the true happiness that we cultivated from serving others. A calm mind. Our minds are all very confused. Am I right? Anyone has a very calm mind? So, 我常常都没有杂念的 raise of hand. 你完全没有杂念的 You have no confusion at all. You have no scattered mind at all. No, not say evil thoughts. I'm sure you all will not have evil thoughts. But you all have, all different kinds of scattered thoughts. I'm sure you all have, right? You all didn't raise of hands means you all have, no? Those who don't have, raise of hand. Every one of us, including me. I also have uncertain times that the mind is not calm. Why is it so? Because we are influenced by the surrounding. And why are we easily being influenced by the external? Why? 为什么？为什么我们会烦恼？为什么我们的脑 not 脑，我们的心 cannot be peaceful? Why? One or two hands, please. Be reality lah. Speak out. It's okay. No wrong and right answer. Yes, go. Because we are human, that's why we have all this. We are all human. But they didn't raise of hands, so they got no scattered mind. Their mind are very calm. Okay, thank you for your answers. Yeah. Anyone? One more hand? Yes? Because we are multitask, that's why our mind cannot be calm. Am I right? Yeah. Multitask, because we are human, that's why we have a lot of worries. When we have a lot of worries, our mind cannot be calm. That is true. But usually when our mind cannot be calm, it's because we have a lot of attachment. We have a lot of clinging, craving, desirations that causes this mind cannot be peaceful. There are many, many other things that, that cause the mind cannot be peaceful. I mean, we have our own family, we have our career. Of course, we encounter different kind of situations. It's fine. But most important thing is, we need to have a kind heart. Who doesn't have a kind heart? Raise of hand. 不要吓我. Every one of us have a kind heart. But what is kind heart? Since every one of us is kind, what is the true kindness that we should have? I will share this Buddha's quote with you. To resolve to be tender with young, compassionate with age. This is a true kindness. To sympathetic with striving and tolerate with the weak and wrong. This happens in our workplace. Right? Sometimes in your life, you have all these things. You have the ups and downs. You have the happiness and unhappiness. Sometimes you are very tender or you are very kind with the younger, but you are not kind with your age group or even the seniors. Sometimes we are so nice to our children, but we are not kind to our parents. 有没有这样的 family? There is. Right? So we must have sympathetic to others, not only to our own members or to ourselves. We have to tolerate for those who are weak and wrong. And then I went to visit, my brother who was sick, and he really shocked of my life. I really, not say scolded him, but I shared with him. He had a fight with a patient in the same ward. And he confirmed with me, 我没有跟他打架，我只是 touch 他而已. I only touch him. Because he says this patient makes lots of noise at night. And he already have sleepless nights. And then he was screaming and shouting and so on that disturbed him. So he went to tell the person, say, hey, can you please don't talk? Can you please don't shout? So he said he tapped. But the doctor told me, say he strangled that fella. So I really don't know what is, the true thing. But of course I believe the doctor. The doctor cannot be, saying something that, is not true to my brother. So I told my brother, I said, you are ill. That is also a patient that is ill. We are all sick person. I'm sure one day, if you are in pain, you will also scream out. Would you? He said, yes. I said, exactly. You are not staying in a home, You are staying in a hospital. Hospital 是谁住的? Who stay in a hospital? Me. Not right. Healthy people will not come to the hospital, am I right? Only those who are sick come to the hospital. Then why are they sick? Pain. They come to the hospital. So when you are in pain, will you shout out? Definitely. I said, you cannot sleep. Also, he cannot sleep. Just fair and square. So how can you do such a thing to other people? If others treat you like that, I will fight for you, So you doing that to other people, to other patients, of course the family will come after us. I say it's not fair. We are already so much of worry for you. You don't add on to us extra things. So I say, you sick, you should know that you are sick. You should support that fella and say, 你不要这个想太多，有念佛，有念佛. I think you will be strong, he will be strong also. You should do the way. Then he say, yeah lah, I know lah. Anyway, he discharged already lah. Okay, that's my brother. But this is the true thing that we experience in our life. And we wanted to bring happiness to others, but not to add on sufferings to others. So let's be equanimity. A compassionate mind. The Buddha, he has what we call equanimity mind. Regardless of whether you are Buddhist, you are non-Buddhist. Once you cry out for help, I will always be there to help you. And this is what we are experiencing. And this is the true happiness. Right? So I say, when we share happiness, it is just like lighting up the lights. When you are in a dark room, you lost your way, you have fear, and you don't know where to go, and someone lights a candle for you, and you found, wow, There's hope. There's way for you to find an exit out from this dark room. Happiness is similarly like lighting up a candle. When you are happy, you spread happiness to others. Right? And this happiness will start to spread to another people. It's just like our BL, the BLA members in Fuguangshan. Whenever we have an event, you spread the happiness or you spread the Dharma joy with others, so others feel your Dharma joy. That's why they come back to us, or they become your buddy, you become your friend. Am I right? So, but if you spread, let's say, in a dark, 2 of us or 3 of us, suddenly there's a blackout. And then everyone is screaming, ah! Then everyone want to find a way, rushing out, get away to find, the exit. You step on me, I step on you. Everyone is rushing. Of course, we want to survive, right? We will hurt each other. Am I right? And if someone is there to tell us, say, hey, come. Stay as you are. Let me find a way. Okay, when I find a way, I will be able to, open up the entrance and everyone of us will find a way out. Someone has to, become, and someone has to do something. And when I wanted to do something, if you all don't cooperate with me, can I do it? I cannot. We're hurting one another. Everyone is struggling. Then this happiness will never happen. So I say, when we share, this happiness will never be ceased if we share. So if I heard this later say, oh, okay, yeah, I have trust in you. I trust in you. We will become, and please, if you need help, we will assist you to find a way also. Or probably we go to different directions. We will be liberated one day. 我们是不是要解脱自在啊？ Yeah, 有谁要轮回娑婆世界 ？Tell me. Nobody, right? When we learn Buddhism, we want to be liberated. We want to find happiness. We want to find all the way. Where is this goal? I say let's say we live at the length of, let's say, 80, 90, or even 100 years. What kind of life I want to lead? Suffering life? Happy life? Fighting, fearful? Is this kind of life that we want? I'm sure no. Right now, we want a happy life. So Venerable Masters give us 10 steps, very simple steps, and it can practice in our daily life. And it is also a positive and negative. If you are more on the negative side, of course we are in a path of what? Suffering. But if we are able to transcend this borderline, we are transcend over, and we will find happiness on the other side of the path. Venerable Masters always says, this world is filled half-half, 一半一半，有白天，有黑夜，有好人，有坏人，有漂亮，有丑丑的。We cannot just stay on one side. I cannot just, I want daylight, I doesn't want, night. Not possible. Then you don't know what the moon looks like, how beautiful, the stars in the sky. You will never experience that. I cannot have daylight, nighttime most of the time. Then I won't know how the sun can bring us warmness, how the sun can help us. When we can see so many beautiful things on this earth, I cannot have either one of this. So the Venerable Masters tell us the step 1, we can read. 10 practices of Humanistic Buddhism. Here we come. Step 1. Okay, don't argue over trivial or petty things. Like my brothers and sisters in Dharma, you have no argument, not even a small little things or big things. You have never argued anything in your life. A raise of hand. 没有 raise of hand 就是你们有啊，对吧？Okay. Please give me 1 or 2 hands. Tell me what you usually argue on. Petty things, or even big things is also okay. Yeah. 1 hand. Yeah, Kim? Domestic. You mean your domestic homes things? With your servants, with your maid or with your partner? With your partner. Same thing, you know, my previous class also. That's very common in family. Yeah. One more hands. Yes. Hey, these two very diligent and you are not diligent, 没有读书, huh? Yeah. Argue with boss, such like, what do you mean by too much work? What kind of too much work? That means exceed your capacity.
Yes.
Let's say you can only carry 30 kg, but now your boss give you 50 kg, and you feel very burdened, right? So you argue.
Yes.
Am I right? This happens to younger generation. Later I'm going to whack you. Kim said he has all these small little arguments in domestics. This is very common. One of the students tell me, I said, what kind of argument? Argue what to eat. Your happens that also, right? Your missus says you want bihun, no, you say want rice. Huh? And then you say, you know, I want spicy things. No, spicy thing, too salty thing, it's not healthy. Go plain, go vegetarian. I cannot give up meat. Make sure I have meat. Then this kind of petty little arguments comes in. It's very normal and common. But always bear in mind, these kind of arguments will never bring happiness to us unless one party give way. Am I right? So ipan, no? That's why. Why, boy? I say, when your boss, you can carry, you know your own capacity. Every one of us have our own capacities, how much I can work on. You can carry 30 kg, but now your boss add on 50 kg. You feel that it's not fair. It's over your limit. Why you think? It's not because, of this burden. I'm sure there are certain things that trigger you to think it is not fair. Agree with me? Salary. No? No? Position, I'm a clerk, but why I do the secretary work? Status, not really. Okay. Regardless, when we are given extra tasks, okay, it's actually to strengthen your so-called your capability. And if you are able to accept the task, regardless of boss is still boss. Boss is always right, okay? Remember this thing. If the boss gives us extra work, if within my capacity, I think it's a little over the limit, but I want to try. If you're willing to take it, I tell you, young men, you will progress and be successful in your career. Why a lot of our youngsters have problems in their working life is because they reject first before they accept. So if you want people to accept you, you have to be acceptance, like what Colin said, I want to be accepted. You want people to accept you, you have to accept yourself first. You agree with me? Happiness comes from when you accept 接受. Regardless of what comes in, 你先接受, then there will be no conflicts. Am I right? Your boss will say, wow, boy, I don't know what's your name, sorry. Yeah, Alvin, yeah, you are a good staff. I will observe. 慢慢明年加你薪水，明年升你职 you win it. But today, really, Alvin, it is true in this life. If today you reject or you argue with your boss, I tell you, you'll be condemned. No bosses will say their argument is correct. To be honest, unless your boss practice Buddhism, send him to Foguangshan, and he will understand, really. He will understand, yeah, 不可以. Later we will talk about 吃亏, huh? I know, we cannot take advantage on the staff. He has been so hardworking, so skinny. Ask him to take 50 kg, really, 等下他死掉, I got no more staff. So, I must know the consequences. It's okay, but always 学习先接受，先不要拒绝。接受 really must accept. Be acceptance, and then you will be successful in your career. All right. Second practice. Don't compare. You never compare in this life. 来举手。哇 ，Mary， 你没有 compare 啊？你从来不跟人家计较的咩？比较的咩 ？Good 啊。哇 ，very good. You see, happy go. Yeah.
Compare until don't want to compare already, consider not.
compare. Because you compare, don't know where the limit is, so cannot compare. Just like those professor, no? He says, I study and my stack of book is so high, I don't know what to study already. It's to the maximum. So you compare and compare, of course, you don't know what to compare. Because what is there to compare anymore? 就快要死了，还有 compare 吗？没有东西 compare, no. But we always, this is very common in our daily life. Regardless, you compare with your friends, she's much more prettier, she got more boyfriends, or she got more girlfriends. This kind of comparisons, in work-wise, how come I'm drawing 1,000, you also drawing 1,000? Why the boss always give you lesser duties, but I got more duties? Why those simple work never come to me, but all the hard work come to me? Everyone knock the head. This is reality in life. You definitely compare. But I want to ask the question is, do you feel happier by comparing? Then why compare? Cannot compare, 师父一定要 compare. Why? Habitual tendency, 一种习气. It's a built up. Maybe from young. Let's say when I'm young, I don't come from a rich family. And then at our, age, during the 60s, 70s, when we have a school bag, 就已经很了不起的嘞。我没有去学校，是我哥哥 a small little square bag, 那种以前I don't know anyone at my age of 50s. 没有all very young. Those 50s at my age last time 我们读书是不是一个 box 一个小小的 bag? I use my brother's bag, I don't have new bag, and it's already so wear off. But I need to carry that to school. Then one day when I see my class friends, I said, 哇，你的包包好漂亮哦。My mommy bought for me. Then when she opened her bag, wow, you got new pencil case I don't have. I start to compare when I'm young. Start to compare. But of course I cannot go back and tell my mother, I want something new. 我倒没有，我很乖的。Just that Anthony, I would say why people can have this, I cannot have that, Yeah. Then I never ask extra from my mother. But when I receive something from them, I really very happy and I really, so-called appreciate and cherish it. So I build up this habits, Okay. Come to secondary school, come to high school. 哇，你不用读书，你都可以拿90 marks. 我读得要死 I got only 60 marks. How you study? What kind of luck you have? We always believe in luck and fate, Say you're so lucky. Then my friend say, no. It's not lucky. I really burn midnight oil to study. I say also, But how come you can, score such a mark? 没有自己反省自己的 And didn't study hard enough when you're in primary school. Of course, now you suffer, right? You cause it. I compare from that. Then accumulate. Last time like that. Now accumulate. Higher already, right? This habit greater. I work in a society. I was a hoteler. And I start to compare. I start from the scrap, grade B. Then I go to grade C. Then I go to grade B. And I stuck at grade B and never go to grade A. I say. Not hardworking enough. If I grade A, I think I won't be here today. Yeah. So I start to compare and compare and compare. Until one day, I realized something is not right with me. Like what I told you, I wanted to achieve the grade A. But there's a lot of obstacles for me to achieve the grade A. I can never. And I keep looking forward and forward and forward. But me, I think from young, I'm a kind person. 我有良心的. I will not compete other people with backpacking. Never. This is true, So I walk all the way, and I start to do contemplations. I'm not a Buddhist at that time. I don't know about Dharma also. Then I ask myself, I say, 我很累 But why I want to compete? And why I want to fight all the way to this position? Is it a necessary thing or not? Have to 10 years, 20 years in this industry, you're still a small kucing kura, peanuts only. You should be someone great. Like just now I said, fame. I need fame. Then I start to, that last time no so-called depression, but it was actually something like depression. I'm not a happy person. I'm a very quick-tempered person. I throw my temper very fast. So my mother always said, 起笑啊，人家没有得罪你 why must you, bend our anger on us and all this thing. Then got one stage I keep very silent. Even I go back, I don't talk to anybody. I just lock myself. My brother sense something is wrong. So I kind of like share with her. I was being sabotaged, when in my workplace. I got sabotaged twice. I'm quite serious, got once. I went to the police case. So it's like end of my life. And I really want to give up everything. Then my brother says, well, we don't need your income. If you're not happy, then by all means, quit your job. Get a break. Give yourself a break. And then you find another new job. Wow, lucky I got such a loving brother. And I say, yeah, I really need to give myself a break. So I went traveling. And I met my very good friend. I must be very thankful to her. She's the one that brought me to so-called a Dharma talk in 1995 in Kallang Theatre. I don't know whether Brother came in already, but Brother Herman came in. Brother Herman was the member of the Buddhist Fellowship. Yeah. So I went to attend the talk. And I told my best friend, I says, I might not understand, 我听不懂经的嘞. I don't know what he will be talking. Then my friend said, never mind, 去听, go. This master very, very good one, very famous in Taiwan. Go, listen. Then I said, yeah, okay. Then 我就去听嘞. That night, I'm very, very thankful to my friend that I attended the talk. Venerable Master talks about the meaning of Buddhism. Venerable Master didn't use any very profound, difficult, terminology that 我听不懂. I don't understand at all. He used a lot of life example. And it really plants me strongly into, my consciousness. Was like what I told you in my workplace, I wasn't a very happy person. And then Venerable Master says there was this boy, he was a very devoted Taoist, 就是拜拜的那一种的啦, I can call him a Buddhist lah. He's a very devoted Buddhist. Every day, every morning before he goes to work, he will go to this Cheng Wang Miao, to pray to Cheng Wang Ye. Then he go to work without stop, very devoted. Then 初一十五买水果, offer fruits, offer all kinds of things. He helps give donations to the temple. And one day, he was killed in an accident. And poor father, he was so upset because he lost his son. We can understand. And this poor father came to the temple and he whacked. He wanted to whack the Chen Wang, the statue. And then the so-called the temple carol, the attendants come in, hey, Ape, what happened? 这样不礼貌，不可以得罪Chen Wang, cannot. What happened? So this old man says, my son is so devoted, and every day he come and make offering, bye. But why Chen Wang? You never blessed my son. You didn't even save my son. And now he's killed. He's died. I lost a son. I must whack you. This attendant got 佛法. You know what this attendant tell the old man? Ape, you cannot blame Chen Wang. Chen Wang ride on a wooden horse. But your son go on the, let's say Suzuki lah. Suzuki, he speed very fast. Chen Wang 来不及. He went to save your son, but cannot make it because he speed too fast. So even this is just a simple story of sharing. Venerable Master says, we have to be responsible for our own action. 不关成王的事情 Even you all come here for offerings, bye bye 佛陀, you all always ask for a return, am I right? 佛陀保佑我健康, 保佑我赚多一点钱, bless my children well and so on. It's a deal, isn't it? We always have that deal. But photo is very compassionate. Oh, I say, never mind. Okay, I'll help you. That's why photo very busy. Yeah. Then this story really whacked me. I was awakened, I was really enlightened with what Venerable Master, after his example, even though, I just like you, I was laughing all the way. But after the talk, I do a repentance, I think back, yeah, it's me who causes all this unhappiness. It is me that wants to fight all the way. Then I get myself hurt. Yeah, I know my problem now. I should let go. I really let go, 我没有学佛嘞，你看我多有善根。I really let go. And then, it's really a very enlightening night that day. So I went back. Then I have a break, I think my leave is enough. So I tell myself, should I continue or should I change another path? What do you think? What's my choice? Clever. I changed my path. So it happens that in 1996 and 1997, Venerable Masters came to the Asia to conduct a Dharma talk very regularly last time. Every year he came. So every year I get a chance to listen to the Dharma. And the second year and the third year, I got an opportunity to become a youth, so-called volunteer, and don't know what to do. Then we just follow, so-called the 师兄, 师姐, or even those the senior youth guide me. Say, 你帮忙放这个，帮忙那个. I feel very happy, I just don't know why. Very simple things. But one thing caught me that really impressed me was the Venerables. 你们觉得佛光山的法师庄严吗？庄严。非常的庄严 right? And then when they walk, the demeanors were so peaceful. That's the first impression they gave me. 我就开始找 I think I need that path. But 我没有想出家啦 I just think that this kind of life is really good. How to get into this path? Then last time we don't have a temple, but we have a tea house at East Coast. So I went there to have a tea, and then the so-called the abbess, 满可法师, he was there. Then 看到青年好像看到宝 at that time. Wow, she starts to come and talk to me, and even one of the the youth there, hey, 叫他去读佛学院，叫他去读佛学院。没有 ，no sorry， 叫他去参加 YAD's conference second year 的。第二届的，叫他去参加青年会。Then this youth came to approach me and say, "Hey, so and so, my name hey so and so, you want to join us for a conference? Going to Taiwan, 很好玩的It's like I've been conned, actually. 很好玩的 ，Go. And then we travel around Taiwan. Then you learn a lot of things. Then I was thinking, give myself a break It's also good. Go for holiday. So I signed up, for the conference. 哇，结果 the conference you must do a drama, you must act 嘞。哇 then we got to think of a story, a plot. Then we was very happy working together. Then of course we went, to visit different branches, and then we even stay in Fo Guangshan. Then one day I went to the Buddhist college, and I find that place is really like a paradise. So calm, so peaceful, so nice place. So 我说我很有善根So I went to approach one of the venerables, maybe it's a teacher at that time. So 我说，师父，这边是学校 right? What is the requirement? What is the qualification to enroll to study? Oh, no qualification, no requirement. As long as you are willing to come in. See, con people, right? So ask me to come in. Say, hey, come. Very simple, but I think my Chinese very, very poor. 没关系的 As long as you can understand simple, you can speak Chinese, right? Simple, okay, 可以的 Come enroll. Then when I came back, after the conference, then 满可法师 gather all these you, hey, come share your, what you have learned. Then we talk. Then I tell 满可法师, I think I decided to go to Buddhist college, but 我不知道 you know what qualification， 我没有大学，我也没有 PhD because this is what my friend told me 佛光山 don't go, they only want PhD one. All the venerables are all 博士 one, you know. You only primary school, you have no admission to it. Then I thought it was real lah. So I thought to 曼可法师 I said I only complete my A levels. 我没有读了嘞 Then 我的 A level also very 拉拉卡卡 I didn't really pass my exam. Then 曼可法师 tell me say, as long as you want to study, 你的what you call your intention, your motivation is correct. Go 去，现在你还年轻，赶快去读。Then I say yeah, 没有 qualification can 啊 Chinese no good can. Next day, you know, I really registered and I ended up I was being accepted. Then we go to you know the Buddhist college and we study. First year suffering. No fridge, no TV, no mattress, you know, damlok, when we sleep so comfortably. But I sleep on the wooden bed leh. Then at night 10 o'clock, must sleep, regardless you want to sleep or don't sleep, we have to sleep. Wow, I cannot take it. First month, second month, cannot take it already. I wanted to quit immediately. Then, the worst thing is, we got to get up, last time during my time, we got to get up at 4:30 in the morning. Then 4:30, 400 students are sharing only maybe 20 toilets and you know the what we call the hygiene area. Only 20 toilets. Then got 400 students. Wow! You are so kanjong. Those who have participated in a short-term monastic retreat before, you will know, you know, you will experience. When you got queue, and then the time's up, you got to, you know, put on everything to ready for 早课. Wow, that's really a stress to me. No study stress, but daily life stress. The third month, 老师, I think I'm not qualified to be a Buddhist student. I mean the Buddhist college student. 我要退学. Teacher say, no, you give yourself some time, you know. So I say, yeah, I cannot. I want to quit already. So of course my teacher, another 很深的, you know, one word that really plants into me. My teacher asked me, may I ask you, what is your motivation when you register to study in the Buddhist college? What is your motivation? What is your goal? 你一定有一个目的的吗？你才签名的吗？ Nobody force you, right? Then I think, yeah, I want to learn Buddhism. 你学佛做什么？ Why you want to learn Buddhism? Oh, I want to learn Buddhism to be happier. Then I want to learn Buddhism to lead a better life, to be a better person. My teacher said, yes. Are you a better person now? Why she threw this question back to me? I'm not a better person, I'm worse, you know, I'm suffering worse. 我没有嘞. Then my teacher, then you remain. Because you have not reached your goal. 我想想，也对嘞, My motivation here is to become a better person, right? But now you see this kind of life I'm leading, I'm complaining. I'm not leading a good life. I must continue. Because I continue, now I'm here today. Really. So, never compare Dharma, only on section 2, practice 2, quick. Yeah. So, practice 3. Never compare, really. Practice 3. I'm sure every one of us are very polite. We speak good words and then we enjoy consequences like what I say just now. If you share, you know, your happiness with others, of course you return back with happiness. Then if you know, give your extensions of service to others in terms when you need, you know, service, people will come and help you also. But how you approach people when you need help? Can I say, hey, Valerie, I'm very thirsty. Please give me a cup of drink. You think Valerie will send me tea? No. I say, hey, Valerie, I know you're very busy, but I'm very thirsty. I don't know where to get water. Can you please help me or you show me where I can get water? She's busy, she cannot help me, but she can tell me where it is. I can access to it. 就不会有 argument 吗? Right? Then they will not have any comparison say, Valerie only serve David, never serve me. So unfair. you will not have this kind of feeling at all. Because we are being so polite most of the time. And you are being polite, you are actually building up a lot of good affinity. I'm sure you doesn't want to have friend with a person that is so rude, regardless of actions or communications or the words that he used. I'm sure you will stay away from these friends, am I right? So, to gain happiness on the third practice is very simple. To be polite. The fourth practice. Anybody never smiled before in his life? Every one of us do. But sometimes we also have sour face. We also have stern look. Smile is a good equipment. Let's say I travel to foreign country. I don't know the native language. I just use smile. People will come to me, believe me. And they will come. You need help? Yes, yes. Can you speak English? Yes, yes. Problem solved. Then when you smile, when you're on the road, you say hello and you give a smile, it brighten up your life. You brighten up your day. Rather than you go working with a sour face, it's like a virus. You go to your office, you cannot find happiness because you are so sour today. So 酸酸的, you go to the office, spread 酸酸. So everybody also very sour. You cannot find happiness. So what is that? A smile. Very simple. You will not lose out, but you get more. There's one word. Let me flip my notes. A smile is something that you cannot give away, but it will come back to you. Agree with me? Yes. So 不要怕, you smile, very simple, 不用本钱的. It don't cost you anything, but you get a lot of return by just simply smiling. Yeah. Practice 5. Don't worry about being disadvantaged. Kelvin, this is for you. Yeah. Don't worry. Really don't worry. Being taken advantage is actually our own prestigious. I think that I've been taken advantage, but actually facts is not. Agree with me? Sometimes it's because our own prestigious. 我觉得, it should not be treated in this way, but these people treat me in this way because they are trying to take advantage of me. Yeah. Actually, it's not. It's actually our mental, because we are negative, so of course these things will come up with negative. But if you are positive, like what I shared with Calvin just now, thank you, because you give me extra work. It strengthened, my so-called capability. You give me a chance to show that I can do a better job. I can do much better. Then you won't feel being taken, disadvantage. So isn't it good if you look on the positive side? Yeah? Okay, practice 6. Be virtuous and sincere. There was one student who asked me, 师父, how to be virtuous? Sincere I can. But why? How to be a virtuous person? What do you think a virtuous friend is? What kind of character he should have? What kind of character? 公德心, right? We call it, that he has a very good morality. He's kind, he's compassionate, and he's always there, very, helpful. Am I right? This is virtuous friend. Of course, sincere friend is someone that can help you when you are in difficulties. But not those friends that, sabotage you in terms of difficulties. 我们说火上再加一个油. Of course, those are not sincere friends. But if you have a sincere friend and you are being a virtuous friend, I can tell you, you have a very wide range of friends. And everywhere you go, you will not face any obstacles. You will not have any difficulties. In regards of career, or even in your relationship with your friends or in your community, everyone will say, wow, so and so is the best person to work with. Wow, so and so, 他很发心. Wow, so and so, this and that. You will definitely get praises. So never be of course, Buddhists will never practice insincere one. Always very sincere. Okay. Number 7. Be carefree and free from worries. Easy or not? 做得到吗? Can you attain carefreeness? Those who have no worries at all. That's why I asked already, right, huh? Everyone has worries. It's a number of more or less. There was this girl, she came from Denmark, she attended the class, a couple of days ago. She said, Sibu, I'm not carefree, I'm not free from worries. Then I said, yeah, can you share your worries? She said, I want to pursue my career, or I have a future, to look forward to. But my mother worried of my future, that whether did I plan correctly for my future. And if I agree with my mother, I take her instruction, I'm worried for my future. So it's common, it's either, I don't know what would I be if I, take my mother's advice, or if I follow what I want to do, my mother will not be peaceful. Sometimes our children also, 我要做这个, 我要做那个. Parents start to get worried. So I told the girl, I said, if we have a very clear goal, and we are very positive what this goal will bring me to will benefit me or will bring me to a better life, will lead me to a better life. If you are very sure and you're very, very confirmed, you go and tell your parents to have some faith in you, and you tell them to give it a try. If I fail 1 year, then okay, I agree with you, I take your advice. But if I'm successful within 1 year, please let me carry on. I say you have to let them know very sure about your goal. Because you cannot tell your parents, say, hey, I want to be a monk or a nun. Of course, I cannot. My mom say no. Even I ask permission. No, cannot. No way, nobody. But if you tell, your parents says, I want to go Fogongshan to study Buddhism. I want to know more Dharma to make myself a better person. Because I think we are lack of Dharma. Then mom say, yeah, okay, I allow you to try 1 year. But if you think that learning Dharma doesn't make you a better person, then you come back. Both of us have a future to pursue, am I right? The parents have something to look forward also. So I told the girl, I said there are no worries. There are worries is because we have attachment, we cannot let go. A lot of things we have the self-ego that we cannot let go. 对不对？我们的自我嘛，我的执着，我的 whatever, I hold on to it so tight. I cannot let go. So of course, it will bring us a lot of unhappiness. So Venerable Master says, 如果你心中没有烦恼 you are just 快乐如神仙 you will lead a very happy life. Practice it. Speak good words. 口中常说好 Speak good words. When I want to emphasize more on good words, what are good words? Positive words. Yeah. Always speak positive. We maybe have 3 good deeds, right? Do good deeds, speak good words, and then have good thoughts. It's very simple to recite, but it's very difficult to carry out in our daily life. Yeah. So, to able to speak good words is actually a practice. Every time, if you speak positive, you will have a lot of positive friends. But if you are always very negative, and you speak very negatively, then this friend will think, hey, I cannot be very close with you because you are always very negative. And it will, the so-called virus, it will spread to others. Just like when we say we want to spread happiness, we will spread something that is positive. We will not spread something that is so negative. Alright? So if you always speak positively, of course, you will walk on a very positive path, and you will definitely walk on the right path. That's for sure. And then practice 9. Make friends with righteous people. Do we have any gangs here? Do we have any 老大 or 黑社会大哥? In this room? No. Because every one of us are the righteous people. Because we practice what? Dharma. Because we come here, where is this place? Louder. Why you all come here? Yes. Because we come to Fo Guang Shan, that's why every one of us is a righteous people. So do you want to make friends with Fo Guang people? Yeah. We see we got a lot of Dharma brothers and sisters. We come from different walks of life. We come from different corners of Singapore. But we gather here together because we know each other, that you are a right person, you are virtuous friends, that I want to make friends with you, and I can learn a lot of Dharma from you. So all the friends we make is good friend, we will never be strayed away. Because in this room nobody 大哥嘛, nobody is in gang. So we are on the safe path. Okay, then 10. Everyone be the Buddha. If in the class, he or she is a non-Buddhist, he will not agree with me. Hey, I don't want to practice and finally I become a Buddha and automatically I become a Buddhist. No. What is the characteristics of a Buddha? What is the characteristic of the Buddha? What does Buddha mean now? I should go that way. What does Buddha, the word means? Awakened is an enlightenment. Am I right? Buddha being an enlightened upon what? Of course, he knows that everything comes with cause and conditions. Everything has its cause and effect. All this thing. So we know also by practicing step 1 to 9, and I realize that yes, with no arguments, no comparisons, no I'm thinking that people take advantage of me. I always lead happy life. I always speak good words. And I've always been a very, a true and sincere friend. This is Fo Dao already. This is the Buddha. Right? You yourself, every one of us, the Buddha says, every one of us have the Buddha nature. We have a pure nature. But this Buddha nature cannot be enlightened. We cannot find it. It's because we have a lot of what? Cravings, all the so-called the dust that cover up this pure pearl. And this pearl can actually be very shining. But because of all this dust that comes in, and it so-called stained this pure and shining pearls that we have within us. So if we are able to practice 1 to 9, then of course we will definitely attain Buddhahood. We will definitely be enlightened, and we will definitely an awareness life. Okay, so the last one is we can read together. If everyone can practice this 10 steps, joy of carefreeness. Just now everyone said cannot attain carefreeness, right? Don't know where happiness is, right? If you are able to practice step 1 to 10, I'm sure you are in a path of happiness. You are free from worries. You will definitely attain, and you will lead a very meaningful and perfect life if you are able to practice 1 to 10. It's very simple. Venerable Master tells us, Dharma is not so complicated. Dharma is not so difficult that it cannot be so-called cultivated in our daily life. Do you think steps 1 to 10 can be cultivated in within your life? Or in within, your community? No. 我讲那么久 No. Can or cannot? Yes. So once you are able to, do it, I'm sure the happier path is actually on our steps. Then we start to walk on the path of happiness. And Venerable Masters give us 4 very enlightening, very wisdom, full of wisdoms, 4 words. And I hope you all can remember it and practice it, in your daily life. First, okay. To be more giving and less demanding. Those who are bosses here, I hope you all practice on this one. Those who are parents, I also hope that you all practice on this one. Those who are so-called, they lead a comfortable life, try and share more with those less fortunate people. Okay? And to give more compliments and less criticism. 哪一个比较多? In our life, be honest with ourselves. Criticism. Right? Yeah. So Venerable Masters tells us, you try to give more compliments rather than criticism, even though he doesn't do a good job. But if there's a compliment given to him or her, it's actually an encouragement for them to go forward. But don't idle compliments. 明明做不好，明明很丑，那些哇，你今天很漂亮。That is not sincere. That not means sincere. I mean, really sincerely, we give compliments, saying, wow, today you're so well dressed. Wow, today you're well spoken. Today you did a good job. Compliments, right? The third one, to be more understanding and less condemning. Sometimes when our child didn't do well in their study, try to understand the situation. Don't condemn. In our workplace, if our colleagues didn't do well, or probably, he got a task, but then he didn't do his task well, don't go and condemn anybody, but just to understand, 你今天是不是没有吃饱啊？今天你是不是心情不好？You start to share. Try to understand the opposite party. Then there will be less arguments, there will be less conflicts, there will be no conflicts at all in our workplace, even at home. And then this, workplace is a happy, 快乐如神仙. It's just like, it's a paradise, right? And the last quote that I'm going to share with you, it's not from Venerable Masters, but I think this is a very good quote, by one of our youth that he gave it to me. I think, it is quite true. Happiness is a choice, and it's not a result. You want to be happy or it doesn't want to be happy, it's your choice. 对不对？你今天很高兴 it's not because of the results. It's because you did it, you attain it. 你去找到这个幸福跟快乐。幸福快乐 doesn't just pop out like that as an effect. No. There's a conditions that goes on. Nothing will make you happy until you choose to be happy. Anyone choose to be sad, drowsy life, all this thing? Nobody, right? You choose to be happy. Your happiness will not come to you. It can only come from you. 不是幸福来找你嘞，是你要去找幸福。Am I right? Money don't come to you. You must go and look for the money. Right or not? Same thing. What we want to achieve in this life, regardless of success or, in let's say academic or in fame or in whatever, we cannot wait. You have to go and find it, especially two young guys here. Sorry, Kelvin and Colleen, I got to use that because you're the youngest among all the audience. Happiness, successful in your life, it's not to sit in your office chair, but it's to stand up of your office chair, walk, and find where is it. You might lost, you might not lost. You might lost, you cannot find the direction. Come and attend the Dharma class. We will give you the direction and you will find it. Yeah. 我帮你招生了。I really appreciate, for your attendance, and your so-called supporting that comes in for this talk. And hopefully with simple things that I share with you, very simple steps that we can practice in our daily life, that will help us to walk in the path of happiness and to really cherish what kind of missions that I come to this world. I have to accomplish my mission. My mission is not to find suffering. My mission is not to find fault. My mission is to find a goal. Right now, my mission is to find meaning perfectness and things like that. Yeah. All the best to everyone, and may Buddha bless you with good health and auspicious. Amitofo.